Welcome back to another Staff Bikes, where today we are looking at head reviewers.
Senior reviewer.
Senior reviewers Stu's new Fairlight Secan 2.5. Now Stu reviews, I don't know, hundreds,
Yeah,
at least tens of bikes.
it was at least 70 in 2023.
So
bikes.
for you to buy a bike with your own money, you've got to like it quite a lot. So this is the one you chose.
I have a thing for metal bikes.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I love the way they ride.
Yeah.
I love the way they look, modern but classical, and just Fairlight just kind of encompasses everything that I love about the way a bike looks and rides and feels. So.
And this Secan 2.5 is obviously a gravel bike. I believe it won our gravel bike
of the year.
And certainly made it into our top 10 bikes overall. You reviewed it.
Yep.
And then bought it.
Yep.
Why? What impressed you so much about it?
I've nearly bought a Fairlight 2 or 3 times over the last few years, reviewing the Secan, the Strail 1, 2 and 3. Never rode a Secan before, but this rides just like the Strail, which was the only bike that I've ever given a 10 out of 10. But the way my riding's going these days, I don't race.
Yeah.
I do a lot of gravel. I do a lot of just riding on the back lanes, commuting to the office. So the gravel bike was more of the all-rounder.
Yeah.
I could go for wider tyres, lower gearing. I can do anything.
So you're actually planning on using this gravel bike on the road?
Primarily, yeah, probably do about 80% of the riding will be on the road. Hence the slick tyres.
Yes,
the mud
so
guards.
are they the Panaracer Gravel Kings, are they?
Yeah, the slick 38mm.
Yeah.
This has got massive clearance.
Yeah, there is plenty of room in there.
Yeah.
Look at that.
So I wanted to go as big as I could, but not too big that they get too heavy, which would affect the overall. It's still a quick bike. It's still got that racy kind of geometry to it. So yeah, slick tyres, big, but I can dart down a gravel track, byway, canal path,
shitty lane.
Exactly, whatever. And it still feels like nimble enough to be a road bike on the road. But yeah.
Now I have noticed that something that goes against most of the recent bikes we've seen is it's got external cables.
Yes.
What are your feelings on that?
I never really work on bikes because they're always brand new, so I don't have to worry about whether they're a hassle to recable or anything. Internal cabling looks nice, especially on carbon. Yeah. But on steel, titanium, aluminium, I think it adds to that whole engineered kind of look. And yeah, for me, it's part and parcel of the bike. It doesn't really, even aesthetically, it works for me.
And when it does come to replacing a cable, it is going to be
nice
easier,
and easy.
Some of the latest ones with integrated cockpits and things, they're a pain in the arse.
And I'm not massively, I enjoy electronic gearing, but it's probably not something that I wouldn't probably buy.
Well, let's have a closer look at the group set, shall we? So Shimano GRX.
Yes.
But as you say, mechanical.
Yeah, this is the 11-speed, because when I first received the bike, this is the actual review bike. Yeah. Came with 11-speed, because 12-speed GRX wasn't out at the time. So yeah, this is still using the 11-speed. And yep, mechanical, just because I like the fit, I like the feel through the levers. I like like the mechanical clunk.
Some of that has been lost, hasn't it?
Yes, especially as the newer electronic group sets have got so smooth and so fast. Yeah. Someone who's old school.
Sometimes
like me,
you don't know if you change gear or not.
Exactly. So yeah, I enjoy the clunk and everything else.
There is something about a nicely indexed mechanical group set that is just like,
especially on a hill.
Yeah.
When it's under load and you can just sweep the change in.
The main reason why I wouldn't go for a mechanical group set, lovely bike, before I say anything rude about it, is the shifter size. There's obviously just more going on in the shifters, especially when you've got disc brakes. You've obviously got to have a hydraulic reservoir up there. Yeah. And then, well, all that mechanical gubbins.
Yes.
That's the only reason I wouldn't go mechanical, I think.
Yes, but on the gravel, I do find it works well because the taller hoods gives you a platform to push against when you're going down.
Harder to go over the bars.
Exactly, yes. So yeah, I do, pros and cons.
So gravel bike, gravel group set. A lot of gravel bikes have one by. How come you didn't go down that route?
Yeah, purely because I'm going to ride it a lot on the road. And
yeah.
I've been a road rider for the last 25 years. I'm very much with that narrow cadence kind of thing.
Okay.
One bike works perfectly on gravel.
So you don't want the big jumps.
Yeah, I find myself in between gears. Yeah, so went with the 2x. And also obviously being the slightly lower ratios.
Yeah.
I think they're 48-32.
I'll tell you. 48-31.
48-31. That's why I can climb so well. Because I thought I was on a 32. But yeah, so slightly lower ratios than 105, say, on their compact at 50-34.
Yeah.
So if the bike's loaded up or I'm off-road, the slightly lower ratios offsets the slight weight.
Yeah. And what would you sort of spin out at? What speed would you get up to on that? On a 48-11?
Probably high 30s, low 40s, I expect, miles an hour wise.
Yeah, so
I've done.
No one really wants to go quicker than that, do they?
On 50-11, I've done over 50 mile an hour at quite a high cadence. So yeah, that easy 45, 46, I expect.
So let's look at some of the other component choices. So we'll start off with a big one, wheels.
Yes.
They're carbon.
They're
Fulcrum.
Rapid red. They are a gravel wheel set, about 1,570 grams, I think.
They look pretty wide.
We weighed them at. Yeah, and just a really nice all-round wheel set that are coped with a bit of abuse. Look bling, which we all know is very important.
Yes.
And yeah, as you say, work with wide tyres. I do have 2 or 3 other wheel sets which are wearing gravel tyres and 28mm slicks, so that depending on what I want to do with the bike, I can literally swap the cassette.
Yeah.
And
it's all right for some, isn't it?
Yes, it is. But yeah, so it sort of just makes it quick and easy and versatile to change the bike. So.
Now, I've also noticed, even though you're a bit of an old school kind of guy, it looks like they're tubeless valves. Are they set up tubeless?
They are, which isn't something that I normally do on my own, except on the road.
Are they still at about 100 PS? Yes, they are. Yes. They are still rock hard.
Yes, I think they're. I haven't actually ridden this in a long time because I've had so many test bikes.
Yeah.
And I don't want to get it dirty. So yeah, I literally pumped them up the other day, and they're probably at about 45-50 PSI on a 38mm tyre. So
that's a lot.
Yeah, comfy it ain't, but it looks good for the photos.
but yeah, tubeless just for the puncture protection?
Yes. Basically, and the fact that I didn't have any inner tubes of this size when I was building it.
Fair enough.
But yeah, because I might dart down that gravel track when I'm out on the road, or like say canal pass, something like that. It just, I think tubeless does make a lot of sense off-road, especially.
Yeah.
Just picking up that sharp stone, that whatever. So.
And we've already discussed the tyres a bit. 38mm.
Yeah.
The Panaracers, they are just a really good all-rounder, aren't they? If someone asked me what tyres should they put on their commuter or do everything bike, then the Panaracer Gravel King Slick is just
the compound is soft enough that you can chuck it into a corner on the road. They still feel quick, they feel supple. That's probably the main reason why I went for them, is the suppleness for a tubeless tyre. Yeah. They've got that, they give you that road feel.
Even at that PSI?
Well, probably not. They give you some kind of feel at that PSI, but yeah, it matches in with the whole steel feel of the frame through the tyres and everything else.
Although I believe Panaracer have just released a new Gravel King, haven't they?
They have. I haven't seen it yet.
No, but I think they've just arrived at the office, so look out for that on the road.cc website soon. I don't know if Stu's in charge of reviewing it, or
if it's the right colour sidewall, it might go on the bike for review.
Yeah. Next, I guess mud guards.
Yes.
They're pretty. What's the word? They're pretty heavy duty, should we say?
Yes. I've always used SKS Chromoplastics in the past on all my winter bikes, but for this I just wanted to do something a bit special, because it was a bit of a...
If you can't see, then these are...
They're Kinesis fend-offs.
These are a solid metal affair.
Aluminium. Easiest mudguards I've ever fitted to a bike, I must say. But yeah, just because this is a bit of a dream bike for me. It wasn't a bike that I needed, it was a bike that I wanted. So yeah, so I thought I'd go just a little bit special, and I just think they really suit the look of the bike.
Well, and probably keep a lot of the muck off. They look like they've got some really good coverage.
Down coverage. Mud flaps come with them. So yeah, clean shoes, hopefully.
And they do look like they won't rub, which is my main bugbear with.
There's no
especially
squeaking.
the rear one.
Yeah.
I can't deal with rubbing anything really, but especially mud guards.
No rattling, no rubbing, no movement. Full stop. To be honest. So.
They do look like they're a proper bit of kit then.
Yes.
So what else have we got on the bike? Seat post.
Seat post is
a masterpiece.
Yeah, Thompson masterpiece. I reviewed that a long time ago, but it's one that is swapped from bike to bike. It's a seat post. It holds the saddle. It does its job. There's nothing special in that point. I just love the engineered look again of it. The machined finish, and I like the inline. On preference, I ride an inline seat post, and I just love.
I've got a Thompson masterpiece on my gravel bike, so yeah, I'm also a fan of that. I believe it's got titanium screws up for it on the masterpiece version.
Yes.
Saddle Talia 3D printed.
Yes.
That's not very old school either.
No.
You're changing.
I know.
Maybe for the better, I'm not sure.
Well, to offset the super hard tyres, I went for a super soft saddle, and I've ridden quite a lot of 3D printed saddles.
We have had quite a lot released recently.
Physique, and this one, and I do think they're brilliant. They're just, they're light. They have that comfort from the squidge, from the mesh.
Yes.
But they don't. They're Goldilocks basically. They're absolutely bang on for me. I like a lot of road feel from the bike, but so I want a little bit of padding. I don't want to be isolated, but and those just work. And I think it looks rather nice as well, if I'm honest.
There is certain components where 3D printing is, I think, being used as a bit of a gimmick.
Yes.
Saddles, I don't think is one of them.
No.
You can print, so I don't know where this one's. It's proper hard at the front there, and then it gets soft in the middle, and then a bit harder at the back. And they can tune that density. For every millimetre of that saddle, and it's the carbon rail version, so it's probably quite light as well.
Yes.
Short nose saddle. Have you always used a short nose saddle? Or is that something that you've come to recently?
Only since I started reviewing them.
Yeah.
That I just found, if anything, I was the other way. When the Physic Arione originally came out, the first long saddle, I went in that direction. But over the years, I've kind of settled
also
down.
migrated onto the short nose saddles. And it's personally something I find.
And as you can probably see by the setup, I do like quite a tall saddle, low front end.
And it looks better.
Yes,
but don't copy that.
My back is knackered, but I do look good when on the bike. But so the short nose just helps that you've got less material when you're crouched down in the drops.
We've got some Hope finishing kit, headset, seat post clamp. Is there any other Hope bits?
No, is part of the package.
Top cap as well.
Top cap, part of the package. When you buy a Fairlight, you can have the Hope finishing kit in different anodized colours. So this one came with the silver. The top cap I actually had on another bike, so I just brought that across to tie it all in. But it's just all those little extra blingy bits.
And fits with the British theme.
Yes.
British engineering.
Yes.
Ritchie, I don't think that is British. I don't know where they're from. Anyone know where Ritchie's from? America. It's got to be American. Don't bother letting us know in the comment section below. Just that we're idiots for not getting that immediately. Stem and bars, they're matching.
Yes.
That's quite nice.
They've got to match. Ideally I would like to have seat post and everything matching, but I can live with it. Again, this is two components that I reviewed quite a few years ago. And I've just kind of hung on to them and moved them from bike to bike because I love the shape. I love the paint finish they use, which
it looks almost carbon.
Yeah.
You could mistake that for carbon very easily, especially those bars. But they're not, are they?
No, they are alloy. It's the WCS range, so it's a top end alloy. The flat top, it adds a bit of comfort. They've got a lovely little sweep back as well.
I'll teach you how to do some bar tape wrapping one day, Stu.
Yeah, well, again, that'll be changed probably for the next review product within a week, so I don't worry too much about it. But yeah, and I've gone quite a wide bar as well, wider than probably most would ride on the road, because it just gives that extra stability on the gravel.
Head off road.
When I put the frame bags and that on and add a bit of weight to it, it just
more stability.
Keeps it all a little bit.
Speaking of bar tape, lizard skins, that is, isn't it?
Yes, I've used lizard skins on my own bikes for years. I just like it.
Yeah.
I like the finish, I like the colours, and I like the comfort. And it cleans.
And it's pretty grippy.
Yes.
Dry and wet. Some bar tapes you get, they're really grippy in the dry, and then as soon as you sweat or you get a bit of moisture, which we do get in the UK quite a bit, don't we? And then it's just like, you can't grab it. But yeah, lizard skin's pretty good, I think.
And I don't wear gloves.
No.
In the winter I wear gloves for warmth, but in the summer and spring I don't wear mitts ever. So I like it, like you say, a grippy, comfortable bar tape.
What have we missed then? Bolts.
Bolts.
Go on, tell us about them.
They were all silver, which looked pretty cool and tied in with the Hope components, but a little bit of late night online scrolling, found these orange ones just to pick up the orange. They do match well with that, don't they? They are disc rotor bolts, so they won't be used to carry any huge load because they're only dinky.
Yeah.
But while I'm not carrying any load, I think it just looks bling. So.
And there's no bottle cages on it?
No, I don't drink on the bike. If I get that thirsty, I stop at a petrol station and grab a bottle of Coke or water or something.
Okay.
So
more things that you shouldn't copy.
Yeah, and I've never found a carbon or a bottle cage that I really like the look of to match this bike.
It must be like a silver titanium sort of, one of those like minimalist ones.
But very expensive.
They are
the
very
few
expensive.
I've seen, and as I don't carry a bottle, it's kind of, I might as well just staple a 50 quid note to the frame.
Yeah, you might as well. Anyway, this is why we don't let Stu write any of the nutrition or those sorts of features.
Yes. There is one coming up on dehydration and how to cause it.
Yeah. Tell us a bit more about the paint then. Did you choose that colour?
No. That was it. This, as I said, was actually the review bike that came in. So I didn't actually choose the colour, but I think it is definitely the one that I would choose because it is the limited edition iridescent plum.
Is it?
So
crikey!
It's £100 extra, but it's metallic and it's a blue-purple flip. So as you move around the bike, it changes from blue to purple.
We'll try and get some shots in a minute.
Yes, it looks absolutely stunning in the sun.
I do also know that you've spent a lot of time polishing this up.
I do have a slight fetish for detailing and stuff. So yes, this has been waxed probably more times than it's been ridden since I bought it off of Fairlight. And it'll probably be ceramic coated at some point this year, just for pure.
Do you want to let us in on the secrets of what products you use to do that?
That one is a McGuire's, I think that's how you pronounce it.
McGuire's,
McGuire,
surely, isn't it?
I don't know.
I don't know, but carb.
It's a carb.
Yeah.
It's their high-end wax, like 50 quid a tin job stuff that I use on the car.
Yeah.
That I've used on that, and it's it makes it pop, as they say on YouTube.
They do now. Final bit, I think. Look pedals. Yeah. I use Shimano pedals personally. Why Look?
Purely because they were cheap. They were literally, they are, I think, just like their entry-level pedals. I normally ride Shimano. I've got like a fleet of basic Shimano pedals which go across to all the review bikes, but they are battered and scuffed and scratched and everything else. So yes, I was just looking for a cheap pair of pedals, nice and quickly. I have used Look in the past, so I do have the cleats and everything else. So I went for them purely because they are unscuffed.
Also, I heard a rumour going around the office, painting you in a bit of a bad light. No, that you use knockoff Look cleats.
No,
is that true?
Knockoff Shimano cleats.
Oh, okay.
I've tried.
Yeah.
And Yeah, it's like wearing ice skates. They are.
But they do work in the pedals.
They work in the pedals.
You
eventually,
haven't broken us there.
They take a little bit of bedding in.
Yeah.
But yeah, the moment you touch, they're worse than like the speed play.
Oh,
metal on tarmac. These are worse. You will be on your back before you know it.
I think I'm going to stick to the legitimate ones.
It's worth paying the extra for the.
Oh, we've learned the hard way, have we? Well, I think that's everything. Let us know what you think of Stu's bike down in the comment section below, as well as anything that you think he should change. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel to see lots more cool bikes, and we'll see you next time. Nice.
Nailed it.
Yeah, that was cool.